Hello, the game has started and it's me to go first. I have an unbalanced rack, but there is some synergy with the CH and K. I have Chonk on the rack for 38. Not a bad second rack. Pretty good actually. I should have something close to a bingo here if there isn't one. Uriners through an R. Renee's, I don't think you can spell it like that. Now what about chonkers? Good score if it was good. Chonky I think is good as well. But I'm not sure about chonkers. No. Didn't hold much hope for that, but chonky is good. Am I missing a bingo? The K could also be useful. Now zoo takes an N. So I could play nay. What does that look like? 30 points. Not a bad rack leave. Hope I'm not missing a bingo here. Nay for 30. Not bad. This looks very close as well. I have the over prefix. Overdoes through an O. Resolved or resolved through an L. Now, does the I help? Devoyers, I believe, is good. And overside. That looks good. Overside or devoyers. Not a great pickup. Swamped in vowels. And uoi is the word that comes to mind for 19. Better than changing. What about this M? Emu. No. But meow is good. Takes an S. 19, that's also not too bad. Okay, opponent takes that spot, so looking at Uoi here for 19. Not bad. I've drawn the first of the two blanks. Almost have VPs if the A were an E. Now I do have the over prefix here. Over. Nope, not seeing anything there. Nay. Does that take an S? Not quite sure on that one. Opponent's play of tucks provides a T as a useful floater. Pervades through an R or a D, no D or R, but that T definitely looking useful. And the U for an up word. Up leaves. Up leaves? No. Didn't sound right. Now the I also a floater there, so I shouldn't totally, although it's vowel heavy already, it could still be useful. What about the C? Jevapis. Jevapis. Wonder if that's a thing. It's a type of a sausage in Eastern Europe, I think Macedonian. Jevapi, but I don't know if it's in the English dictionary. So pre-save. Pre-save. Doesn't sound. I must be missing something here. And that I, wow, looks so useful. I think I'll just go with pave. I know I've missed something here, but anyway, 27. Few E's to work with now. Maybe one too many. W as well. What about this P? going to say seaside, but I've got one too many E's. What about the sea here? Deceased. 61. Not bad. Not a bad pickup. I've got the ing ending. Jarrings through an R. The P at the top, not overly useful with this rack. Jarrings. Opponent plays bean in the top left. I don't have anything great in the top left there. Maybe just playing off the J would be a good move, because the rest of the rack combining beautifully with the E, S and D. So where can I play the J? Just out of the way somewhere. Top here, 9 points. "18 vowels, 25 consonants." Wow. I think I'm just going to play the J here. Am I missing something? What about... Is there maybe a bingo here? Ingeras, no. I think I'll just play the J off as planned and hope to bingo next turn. Yes, that's a very nice looking rack. So, Porangi does not take an S. Pignaros. I think... he plays there anyway. Soarings, that works well. And no 4-timer opportunity, I don't think. So I'll go ahead and play Soarings. Now, not a bad rack, but the duplicate L not ideal. I have all here for 33, all of 33 points. Not bad. Opponent might well play there because it does represent a good scoring spot. Almost pigtails onto the S if one of the L's were a I. Wow, opponent bingo's there. And there's still the Q to come, so to leave the U here doesn't feel like a great move. What about uplit for 30? Okay. Still got AL for a lesser score. Opponent scoring well with the F. Pretty low on time, so I should get moving. So what about A? Looks like just AL. 24 stops opponent scoring up there. Bigged. I think big is a verb. And good scoring spot here for the other F. So opponent likely to take that spot. If he doesn't, I can block it with Deg 15, because this could easily be, it could easily be a 30 plus point play, like something like felt or felted. So yeah, I think I really do need to address that spot. Igged. That's too easy for opponent to score down the bottom. And what about gifted? 22. Not bad. 6 tiles remain, so opponent almost certain to have the cue at this stage. A play of quit, possibly QUIT, which could score very well. Okay, opponent plays there. So I've got grifted for 28, and I'm keeping the I back in case I draw the Q, which I don't. Now, opponent's got quit here, so that's a decent score. QUIT, and then he goes out with FLR, furl or something there. So not looking great. He's got drift, doesn't quite reach. Z, that's where the story ends. May, nope. Wow, very close at the end, yeah. Nothing to slot in between NO and T. And I can't get across. Wow, this is very close. Opponent has definitely a 30-point Q play, or 36, but furl, I don't think furl is good, is it? FERL, because he could then go out there. Just doesn't feel that familiar. Do I have to block it? if he plays quit, I do have something under the Q to get about 16 back. So I might have enough to outrun him. But if he doesn't play the Q there, what's the most I can muster? Big A. Doesn't score much, but it gets rid of, wow, only 9 points. Obia. That's 12, but more on count back. Days and Ria. $17. Requit. Okay, opponent has played there. Now could play dig. That's 19 minus 10 is only 9. What's he going to do with FL? He's got FL. Fill. I left. No. I've got, well, bigger here is 11. That's not great. Gaddy here for 22. That should do it. 22 minus 8. Yeah, I think I'll go with this. So opponent, I don't think, can score that much with his remaining tiles. F and L. He's, yeah. Elf, yeah. So final score 444 to me, 435 to opponent. Let's see what we missed. Wow, what a close finish. Okay, so Chonk looks fine for 38, keeping the S back. Now opponent had some good scores there in the 30s. Goes with Zoo. And I took a while here thinking this rack looks really flexible, especially with 1 or 2 floaters, but no, nothing there. So decent enough. And opponent has Seax. Wow, you don't see that one every day. 40 points. Opponent goes with Mice. And now Overside for 76, but Coversed. Wow. Big 95-point power play missed. And you can see the difference in the equity. So that was Coversed would have been good. Now opponent's got Lushy for 51. Big score. Goes with May. And then Uoi, that's simming best from this rack. Opponent's got some plays in the upper 30s. Luxist for 39. Goes with Tux for 27. And here we go. Look at that. Peavies. 102 points. Massive. Can also be spelt with a Y. Peavies. Repaves. Shocking. Even vapes would have been nice. Keeping E blank. 57 points. That was terrible. Anyway, we all miss them sometimes, but yeah, shouldn't miss a word like repaves. I just went blank, I think. Worrell for 32. And then this rack easeled looks nice for 86. And weaseled from the W. So I played deceased for a lesser bingo. And opponent close to a bingo here, but nothing available. Goes with bean. And I took a while here thinking there might be something through the E or the D. And there wasn't. But look at jaw. 39. Amice. Yeah. Amice. So that's a big score. Went a missed. And then opponent, quite a few options there. Soarings or Signora. Deceased's and Signora getting the G tripled, but no point giving an easy 40 or 50 point play to opponents. So still happy with Soarings. Didn't give much back. And look at this lovely rack. 100 bingos to choose from. Urinates and then uplit, but Alp. Wow, 41 points. I forgot Alp. Yeah, that's and the rack leave would have been decent, but it would have left this open. And I did mention it during the game that we were approaching the end game with the Q unseen, and that's an easy 50 point play if opponent can cash in on the triple word square using the Q. So still kind of happy with the second best one, having taken that into account. Few for 32. Now opponent's more or less level, and I'm starting to sweat because I see a hot spot here for the F. And because the scores are so close, a 30 or 35 point play could really give my opponent the advantage. But look at this Alb. How did I miss that? 41 points. Alp and Alb. Obviously words I have played many a time. So I played Al. Yeah, it's a bad miss. And then, yeah, just some low scores for opponent here. Close to a bingo. But, yeah, this T actually combining quite nicely. But just one off, I'd say. So opponent goes for score 27. And now, look at these scores. Head to head, pretty much, and the Q unseen with the U and some vowels. And I'm thinking, well, it's going to come down to the wire, and it did. Grifted was the highest score, so glad to have spotted that one. Now, requit for 32. Quit was the one I was worried about, but then I would have had big, B-I-G, and that would have given me enough to win. But, yeah, requit was opponent's choice. adequate. And then Gaddy for 22 was best, simming the same as bigger. Playing it alongside there. So same equity of 4. And that was the end of the game, with opponent going out with the highest outplay. And very close in the end, just 9 points in it. So 1 or 2 misses there. A particularly embarrassing one, repaves, a word I've played 100 times. But yeah, hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.